Hello, good evening and welcome to the Good Ship Battle Potemkin. That's right, the old Potemkin battleship of Hack the Dino here, bringing you all the disasters that the Dino PC could bring. We're a little late tonight, but that really doesn't matter for you if you're listening to the podcast on all podcast apps or watching us on youtube.com/hackthedino. Only if you're on twitch.tv/hackthedino are you going, where the hell are these jerks? Well, let me tell you, it was a bloodbath. It was an old archaic vessel coming up on its bow and just ramming the living shit out of everything.
Thanks for describing me like that, Ben.
Speaking of ramming the shit out of everything, Zak Sabbath's with us!
Hey!
Yay!
Thanks for having me back, fellas.
Of course, and always, Zak Sabbath is a member of the team, a member of the crew. And speaking of the team and the crew, we're going to have some updates a little bit later on what's the future with Hack the Dino. Things are changing.
Good.
Thanks for that feedback, Zach. Brayden!
Hello, how are we all this evening?
We're fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm breathing now. Maybe not yet. We'll get there. Goddamn.
But it's been a fun-filled week full of fun-filled adventures and fun-filled Dino PCs. But tonight, we're going to ask many questions. The most prevalent being, is Astro Bot Game of the Year?
No.
Yes, it is.
Not a chance.
It totally is.
Absolutely not.
But we'll get to this argument a little bit
In
later
its
on.
category, absolutely.
But Zach, what have you been doing? What's happening? What's shaking?
Well, I have almost died of a stress-induced heart attack over the last, say, 2 months because I have not been able to stream on Twitch at all.
Oh, why not?
Because my wife and I, or my wife and I and my daughter, we had to move.
Yes.
So we moved to a new place, which the internet infrastructure at that house was ancient and bleh. So I swapped from NBN, because I used to have fiber to the premises, to wireless 5G. Turns out the 5G tower that I needed for my house was under maintenance. I was not notified at all. So over the entire 6 weeks, I had 5G internet. It was like dial-up. Just so horribly inconsistent and gross. Couldn't stream, couldn't do anything. Went to war with that particular internet service provider to the point where I got them to cut me off and refund me. And I won that battle. So then I swapped over to another internet service provider because I was offered free NBN to the premises, fiber to the premises. And I've got 700 down and 2 up.
Wow.
So I can watch 50 streams at once, and I could upload 1/8 of a stream per half an hour. Yep, perfect representation right there. Just ancient NB, it's the worst. So I've been fighting with my internet service provider on this debacle. I've had NBN text come out twice, and a third time on next Wednesday. And I'm just so sick of paying for stuff that I can't use, and it's doing my head in. I love streaming. I miss streaming. I feel like what I've spent 5 years building is just dissolving in front of me. There's nothing I can do about it.
I've had people say, like other Twitch streamers, and finding it a lot now with Twitch streamers who sign exclusivity contracts with YouTube. Now that their YouTube exclusivity is over, they're going back to Twitch, and their people are still there. Their community is still there because people don't necessarily migrate across to YouTube, but you all should for reasons. So I have a feeling when you come back, your whole gang of followers will still be there. I don't think you'll lose too much.
I think a lot of the time it comes down to how often do you personally go through and like unsubscribe from stuff you haven't watched in a while?
Never. Literally not once.
Yeah, exactly. So if people are still following you after all that time, and then all of a sudden they go on one day and they're like, "Oh shit, Zach's streaming. Let's jump on."
I hope so.
No, they'll
We've
come back.
done a lot of good. We've raised almost $20,000 for charities and stuff. And I don't know, man. It's just been absolutely doing my head in. But other than that, I've been having an absolute great time with some absolute banger games.
Yeah, like what? Oh, we'll get into that. We'll get
Yes.
into what you've been playing in a little bit. But Brayden, what have you been doing?
I've been playing Astro Bot. That's what I've been doing.
Should we talk about Astro Bot now, or should we go to Zach first?
No, let's let Zach actually talk about
we'll go to Zach first.
freaking games. He hasn't
'Cause-
been able to talk
Oh,
online
hang on.
about games.
Before we do, can I just say what else I've been playing? tell
Yeah,
my
sure.
little story
Go
in case
for it.
people didn't see
Oh, yeah,
my
absolutely.
Instagrams? So I've been playing Astro Bot, obviously, and I think in our Dino host Discord, Floppy, Anto, Brayden, and I realized this is the very first game that we've all played at the same time. So we've all been talking to each other while we've been playing it. But aside from that, I got the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighters Collection that came out yesterday. Yes, I'm going to buy the physical copy, but probably not on the Switch because it's just a code in a case.
Ah, good.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Oh no.
The Switch version is just a card in a case, so
Oh.
I'll probably get the PlayStation version. And then a little story. So last week, I was not well. I had a bit of a tummy virus or food poisoning. Either way, I was desperately trying not to soil myself. For realsies. In my anal retentive... what? In my my sphincter exercises in order to maintain my
Doing Kegels.
maintain my lower intestine inside my
His
body.
innie was becoming an outie.
That's right. Perforated buttholes.
It was a turtle head, but the turtle had just been through a liquidizer.
Jesus.
Turtle soup. I put a bid on something. An email came in, and it's from an auction house, and it said, "Oh, you might be interested in this item." And I went, "Yeah, I am interested in that item." Topical, Brayden. That turtle head scene from Master of Disguise
Yeah.
was filmed on.
I love this. I love this fact so much.
Go on, you say it.
It was recorded on the one and only September 11th, 2001.
Oh, no.
So Dana Carvey is dressed in this outfit when the entire crew learn that a plane has hit the tower and then the second tower.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Yeah, so I thought, yeah, I am interested. I'll put some money on it. So I did, and got over my sickness. Monday morning, I went, oh, I should probably check my junk mail. So I did so, and it turns out that I won that item. Now, what item, you may ask? Well, for those of you watching on YouTube, over at Super Retro Squad, you can see a little video I put together. That item was an original 1995 Time Crisis arcade cabinet.
It's insane.
So
I
good.
cannot stress to you how giant this thing is. And how ridiculous it is that you own this now.
But what's even worse, I was driving home when I got the email notification. I thought, I'll go get it Tuesday. I thought, oh no, the van's going to be full of coffee on Tuesday because I do my deliveries on Wednesday. So I had to do a U-turn, go to the place where I had to pick it up. They loaded it in for me. Then I went to my training, trained for a couple of hours, came home. It's like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm trying to get this out, and I couldn't. I just went, I better call Anto, because Anto just lives down the street from me.
Ah, very good.
So I called Anto. Anto came and helped me. He was streaming at the time.
Ah, very good.
So he just put
Even
up
better.
a be right back.
Even better.
And helped me get it out of the van and into my living room. All Jazz had to say when she got home was, it's really big and why isn't it in the garage? But yeah, I've got a Time Crisis arcade cabinet now, and
That's
it's
awesome.
freaking amazing. And we'll probably boot it up after this.
Hell
And
yeah.
Yeah, that's the game right there. You can see on the screen. Fun times. You ever played
Vintage.
Time Crisis, Brayden?
I think I played Time Crisis 2 or 3 in the arcade.
Yep.
Whatever was around when I was a child in the 2000s. I'm sorry. I would just apologize instinctively for that. But yeah, I remember playing Time Crisis, like one of them, and just having a blast, but them being so difficult for me as a kid, and it just like eating all of our friends' money.
Yeah, they sure did. And it's not even a long game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just pulled this video up and it says long play and it was 25 minutes.
Yeah,
and I was like,
it's
oh
not-
no.
You walk in, you go up the tower, and you shoot the bad guy.
Damn.
That's it. That's the plot. Save the girl. Anyway, that was a fun time. I want to say, though, that
Crisis.
I did get it for a bargain.
Yeah,
It was an absolute bargain.
absolutely.
But it all works. That was my main thing. When I booted it up originally, the screen was a little small, which you'll see when we put it on a bit later. I was thinking, oh, God, don't tell me the CRT's gone. Don't tell me the chassis is screwed. No, it was just the chassis warming up because I forgot it's an old TV and those TVs need to do that.
Oh, wow.
They need to warm up before they show the full picture. But yeah, works perfectly. So that's cool. No. I've got another arcade machine.
So good.
Number 3 in my house, along with a GameCube kiosk. All right, Zach, what have you been playing?
So I've got 4 games on the rotation at the moment.
How do you do that? I struggle with 1.
Not being super, super old, just regular old.
Oh, okay.
Regular old.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, so the latest WoW X-Pack, The War Within, has dropped, and that is consuming a lot of my time. And it is hands down the best expansion since Legion. It is fantastic. It is a rare, rare time where all the collective WoW fans agree that this doesn't suck.
Whoa.
They go,
Wow.
wow. But yes, it is fantastic. So back at the last BlizzCon, they announced the next 3 X-Packs, which is this massive arcing story, which is going to be awesome. And this one is The War Within, the start of the 3. So we've gone underground. In the first 10 minutes, like massive story plot changes, which I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's very rare that because I've been a Warcraft fan since Warcraft 3 back in the ye old times when it was shareware.
Hell yeah, shareware.
Well, shareware. Perfectly legal shareware. And you could do that back then. And I played it on PC and Mac. But back in Warcraft 3, which is when it was in its RTS days, so I've been playing WoW on and off for like 20 years. And something happened that completely changes the course of that 20 years, which is absolutely wild. It's such a good X-Pack. Really enjoying it. It's done some really cool stuff, changed some really cool things. All my homies are back on it. So yeah, been playing a lot of that. I've also picked up a game called Black Myth Wukong.
Hey. Did you
Which-
get the mod where they just take out the Monkey King and put Goku in it?
No, I have not, because I love Journey to the West. I love Monkey Magic from when I was a kid.
And you love Dragon Ball.
And I love Dragon Ball. So I love this story. I love this lore. And this game, the combat's so fun. It's challenging and fun. So it's like, the best way I could describe it, it's God of War, like the new God of War. So it's a lot more linear. It's action RPG, but it's not Dark Souls janky hard.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
This is something I've wondered. You see all these boss battles and whatnot, and
Yes.
they all look cool, and it looks gorgeous and everything, don't get me wrong. But is it just going from one boss battle to the next? Like, there's not many enemies? Like, the
no.
world's pretty barren?
No, so Act 1, it's more like that because you're on one mountain. Act 2, so I haven't got to Act 2 and 3, but Act 2 and 3 is where it really starts to open up.
Right.
But yeah, Act 1, you're essentially, you haven't even worked it out yet, but you're essentially the reincarnation of Sun Wukong, and you're making your way down from the mountain. Now,
Oh, right. So it's like a sequel to The Journey to the West.
yes.
Oh, wow.
In fact, this game sets the gold standard for the most badass intro to an RPG ever.
Really?
Ever. So you literally, the starting menu is Wukong, full armor, full god tier Wukong. He's chewing on a peach. He looks up, the 4 demon kings of hell, which are big, 5 times bigger than like mountains, just walking towards you. You jump on Nimbus, you cruise through the trees, you fly up into the clouds, and you fight some. I can't remember this dude's name. He's got a spear. He's got 3 eyes. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. But then you just have this epic god battle with him and these 4 massive demon gods in the first like 10 minutes of the game. That's the intro. That's it. That's your introduction to this game, and it is phenomenal. Love it. Fantastic. Highly recommend everyone check it out.
Yeah, this looks like a really cool game. Brayden, is this the type of thing you play?
I originally was thinking it wasn't, and then you kind of sold me on it a little bit more because it being more similar to a God of War type rather than just a like Soulsborne type.
It is definitely not a Soulsborne. Don't get me wrong, the combat is challenging and there's no difficulty slider.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's definitely not Souls hard, as in one tap clap kind of stuff,
Yeah.
or dying to jank. I find the combat is way more fluid than any Souls game.
It looks wonderful.
It looks so
It is
impressive.
so pretty.
Oh my god.
So pretty. Like, I cannot tell you how much I'm enjoying this game. Unfortunately, I haven't finished Act 1 yet because between this, WoW, and the next 2 games I'm going to be talking about, hopefully I'm not taking up too much of people's time. But I've also been playing a game called Deadlock.
Deadlock.
Yes. Which is the Valve closed. It was like a closed beta alpha.
Yeah, this had a really weird, like, sort of timeline of events.
Yeah. So what happened? So the only way you can play this game is if you get an invite.
Yep.
And you only get an invite if you find a way to get into the Discord or if you know someone who already has access to the game. And you weren't allowed to talk about the game. You weren't allowed to stream it. You weren't allowed to post on social media. You weren't allowed to talk about it in your own Discords. Nothing. And I just happened to get an invite from a friend. Oh, I've got this game, this Valve shit. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's check it out.
Are you allowed to talk about it now? Or
Yes, they've lifted the ban. So
Okay,
everyone's
good.
streaming about it and it's blowing up. The thing is, it already had... Like, I did not have any wait times queuing up for games. So for a game who's meant to be a secret...
being played by hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of people.
Oh, yeah. I think it's got like 100... It had like 100,000 concurrent
It
players
was
when I started.
huge.
Is that just like...
It's
like
crazy.
they just marketed... Oh, you're not allowed to talk about it, and it's the fear of missing out that made people want to play it?
Yeah, but the fact it's a really... Considering it's still in development, it's such a polished game. So this is a third-person MOBA. It's not like Overwatch. It's not like a shooter where you just can't... with shooter tactics. It is literally a MOBA, like League of Legends or Dota. And it's made by Valve, so it's 100% good. This is the future of esports. I'm calling it now. I have so much fun with this game. So it's like... it has a lot of Dota mechanics where you have to farm creep while denying other people's. Pushing towers. There's jungling. But so... What's cool about this is it's set in like an LA noir scene. So you fight in a city, and one of the guys, he's like a LA detective. So all these guys have really cool stories, awesome voice acting. They have their own lore that's just slowly coming out. They're introducing more heroes. It is a lot of fun. And it sucks that I can't stream it. But yeah, Valve are just this brilliant marketing of don't talk about this game. You're only allowed to play it by invite. You can still only get access to this game if you're invited. But
That's
at least
cool.
you're allowed to stream it now. And I think it's pretty easy to get an invite if you get in on the Discord. But yeah, it's a very cool game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And of course, the latest thing I've been playing is Space Marine 2.
Oh, dear.
Brother for the Emperor. Now, for any of you guys, anyone's a 40k fan, I used to play 40k when I was a kid. This game is so badass. Like, it is just so much gratuitous violence with... It's literally a love letter to people who love the lore of 40k. Now, if you play Space Marine 2, which was way more hack and slashy, very more like Darksiders, that kind of deal. This has a lot more RPG elements. The graphics are gorgeous. The violence and combat, yeah, it's got the fun of Doom, the gore of Doom, but with Gears of War combat. It's Gears of Doom.
Gears of Doom.
Gears of Doom.
Gears of Doom is the way to describe this game, 100%.
And it is so good. It's got multiplayer, both PvE and PvP. The story's only like 9 hours long.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. Like 9 hours, and you can do it multiplayer. You can do it on different difficulties if you want to challenge. You're just fighting endless Tyranid
Gore
hordes.
looks amazing.
It is fantastic. Like, I play this game, my balls grow in immense size due to testosterone levels rising.
Probably see a doctor about that.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I
No,
got Space Marine.
it's the only way the Emperor wants it.
That's right. For the Emperor. Brother.
But I must ask as well, because I'm pretty sure you can customize the hell out of your design. You can basically paint your own mini almost.
Yes, 100%. You can paint your own mini in the multiplayer customization,
That's so cool.
where you have like 8 different operatives to choose from, and you do these operations. You got PvP and PvE operations. You change it. You set up the difficulty. They've already got a roadmap of new enemies, new missions, new campaigns, new everything. I haven't got to this part yet, but I'm pretty sure those are Eldar. Look like Eldar.
Brayden, you're spoiling it.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
I know what Eldar are. It's fine. Like, it's not spoiling the story. That looks like an operation. But yes, awesome. Like, you like Thor, you like swinging big Thor's hammer while using jetpacks? This is the game. Chainswords? This is the game. Ripping people in half? This is the game.
Rip and tear.
Very good. It's so good. Highly recommend. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's my rant over.
Cool. So now it's time to sit back and listen to Brayden and I talk about Astro Bot.
Oh my god.
I'm out, peeps. Catch you later.
So we all got Astro Bot. This is the first time, I think I've mentioned that the first time that all 4 Dino hosts have actually played the same game from launch together.
And it had a lot of peer pressure on Ben for that.
Yeah, like the 3 were playing it and they just kept talking about it in our Discord. And I was like, oh, screw this. And I went out and bought it.
As you should.
And I'm so glad I did. This game not only looks amazing, this game feels like a sequel to Mario Galaxy 2. It has the same type of feeling to it. It has the same type of discovery to it.
Flying PS5.
Yeah, that's their ship that gets blown up. It
so
has
good.
the collectathon quest to it. The very first thing I saw when you collect puzzle pieces in each level, and then when you complete a puzzle, it gives you a item in the hub world. Very first one you collect is a freaking gacha machine.
Very good.
And I am hooked to video game gacha machines purely from Smash Brothers on the GameCube, where you got the trophies.
Yes.
And it's the same type of deal.
Awesome.
You put coins, you earn coins while you're adventuring, and you use those coins in order to get little items, and they correlate to the bots that you rescue. So let's say you save the Kratos bot.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the hub world, when you return there, he's sort of just sitting in his little area being grumpy Kratos. But then what's his one? Is you get the Leviathan axe?
Yeah, he gets a campfire around him and his Leviathan axe.
And then if you go up and if you hit them, they do a little animation.
And
So he will hit you with his axe and freeze you, and then bitch slap the fuck out of you.
some of
That's so
these
good.
are the deepest cuts as well. Oh my god! Like this is a game designed for me. Like, I grew up with PlayStation. The 3D platformer is my jam, and Astro Bot's Playroom was perfect for me because it was a tech demo for the PS5, introducing you to everything, but was also a love letter to PlayStation at the hardware level. All the different pieces of hardware and equipment that they've done over the years, that was what that one was about. And now they've done this one, which is about the software and actually delving into the characters and franchises that made PlayStation what it is. And they really just show their love for all of it. It's awesome. It's so fun.
Should we read out what Floppy and Anto thought?
Yeah, get into it.
All right, well, I'll do Floppies. You want to do Anto's?
I can do that.
I'll just bring it up here while we're all talking and having a good time. All right, here's what Floppy had to say. My Astro Bot review. Okay, so my thoughts so far after just beating the first boss. So Floppy's only beaten the first boss. I've defeated the second. Brayden, I think you're a little bit further than that.
I am on to the 5th?
And I think Anto's already platinumed it.
I think Anto has finished the game entirely.
Floppy says, I love the levels. They are fun and easy, and the secrets are cool and not annoyingly hard to finish. The levels on 100% on first or occasion. Sorry, Floppy doesn't believe in full stops or commas. It's just one big-ass run-on sentence, so you have to bear with me. Controls are great. Not too much motion control, but just enough with the controllership to not make it feel crammed in like heavy rain. The game looks phenomenal, absolutely gorgeous. Every level, color, and animation is perfect. No glitches so far at all, very polished. My big gripe is the sound through the controller is utter filth. It's very jarring. Considering the extremely high standard of everything else, to then utilize such a low quality speaker was a big misstep. I disagree with that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think it's fantastic and it's immersive, and I didn't even realize it came out of the speaker of the controller.
I think it's excellent.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's... I'd be very interested to hear partners and people who live in the same house's thoughts, because I bet it sounds super fucking weird to just suddenly have these weird noises coming out of the middle of the room. But yeah, I find them really immersive and I really like them.
So Floppy's only gripe is subjectively, he sees that it is worth the $110 recommended retail price. Objectively, I don't think they have done enough to justify the $110 price jump from the previous game being free. It's a bigger version of the free game, but still essentially the same game. I would think a $60 or $70 price tag to accommodate for increased game size would be more suitable. I mean, it's a fair point, but we don't know what type of costs they incurred developing this spectacular.
Their last game was like $600 because it was the price of a PS5.
That's true.
Yeah, nah. Sony, don't even get me started on Sony. Greediest, scummy. Whoa,
We'll talk about that.
I'm getting hot.
Hold on to that anger.
I'm
We'll
getting
talk about
hot.
that shortly.
But I did play the demo of this when I've only had a PS5 controller in my hand once, and it was to play this demo. And what made me so upset... Twice, yes. What made me so upset is the fact that this game made such good use of the controller and the haptic feedback and everything like the PS5 was capable of, and then they ignored it for every single PlayStation release from here on out, and
Until
now
this
they
game.
brought it back.
Yeah.
If I had a PS5, I would be smashing the heck out of this 100%.
No, it's great. As I said, sat there and was just amazed at how much like a Mario 64 game it felt. Like it's literally Mario Galaxy. And I played the bollocks out of Mario Galaxy 1 and Mario Galaxy 2. And wonderful games. This encapsulates that feeling. Some of the add-ons, like you get a different power-up each level. Some of them can be quite annoying.
Oh, some of them are incredible though.
The mouse one springs to mind.
Yeah, the mouse and the I don't know if you've got there yet with where you're at. There's a time-related one.
No, I've not done that yet.
Oh man,
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that then.
oh, it's good.
But and like the bots are easy to find as well. You just have to go exploring. In fact, I think this is where I missed one of the bots.
I was gonna say like this game in terms of it has really surprised me. I was very much expecting it to be I was expecting it to be super duper easy. And I was expecting all the secrets and collectibles to be super plain and obvious. There is some like real secret stuff they've put here. You've really got to like work for it a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Also-
I forgot to mention Floppy gave it a 9 out of 10.
There you go. And we'll get to Anto's review in a sec. But this game is a one-hit KO game. And you die immediately. The second you hit an enemy, or an enemy hits you, you're gone.
But
and
those save
you
points
jump
are
back
so
to the
good.
next save point. And all it's doing is showing off, hey, this is what the PS5's SSD is all about, loading quickly. And you're straight back into it, and then you go again.
And the best thing as well is like if you go, I haven't been to that area, guaranteed there's something there, whether it's a puzzle piece, whether it's a bot.
Yep.
Absolutely. So you were encouraged to go, I'm going to look around.
Look, there's little Ratchet.
There's Ratchet.
Oh. And now, Zach, imagine me doing that 160 times.
I can actually see like someone who's Brayden's age who grew up with the PlayStation 2 and all their attempts at getting icons and mascots.
Attempts is true.
Like I can see this being 100% a nostalgia trip for you.
Oh.
And this might even be the first time that you sort of experience nostalgia, Brayden.
I mean, like, on a level of this scale, absolutely. Like, I was seeing all this stuff pop up. Like, again, they delve into some deep corners of their characters.
Best part of this game as well, you don't die underwater.
Oh,
Yep,
finally.
You just get to
explore
swim around.
forever. Oh my god. Any point of friction is non-existent in this game. This game is constantly just
fun.
fun and enjoyable. I was smiling like a goddamn idiot the entire time I was playing it. It's a joy to discover things and just explore and have a good time. I never felt like, oh, I missed one in that level. Oh, that's so annoying. I got to go back through that level. Hell
What's
no.
that?
I can't wait to go back into that level. And the music kicks ass.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, it's so good. Do we want to hear what Anto's thoughts were?
Yeah, let's hear what Anto has to say.
So,
Oh, that's another Ratchet and Clank character.
yeah. So you get the two of them there. Weirdly, they don't feature Clank when you get them.
Oh,
But then when you go
robot.
when you go back to the hub world, Clank is there hanging out with them.
Makes
And I
sense.
was like, oh, okay, sure. Okay, so Anto's thoughts. Astro Bot notes. Speaker in the controller is utilized masterfully. Creates a real sense of immersion and depth with certain boss encounters. 99% of the sound effects coming from it are brilliant. I will agree with him here. There was one sound effect that I thought was kind of like, whoa, this is really annoying noise. But it popped up in literally one level, so that's fine. Astro Bot feels fresh as a 3D platformer. The power-ups are such as the frog boxing gloves, rocket dog backpack, monkey climbing bot, and others that will not be mentioned yet, feels so different compared to other games of this genre. It helps that it panders to the older crowd's nostalgia. Am I the older crowd now?
Yep.
Yep.
Welcome to the club, bud.
What are you now, Brayden? 27?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, yeah, you're past the old young person stage.
I'm going to join the 27 club, guys. That's what that is, right? Right?
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah, just like Rule 34 Club.
Jesus. It helps that it panders to the older crowd's nostalgia for PlayStation's history, but even without that, it's still charming and unique. Downsize surprise level is super charming. Oh, so this is the what he calls the Maestro Bot. Is uber cute. Shrinking, the music gets bassier and echoes differently compared to the normal size.
Didn't even talk about the music. Oh.
Dude, the music's so good. It is fantastic.
Sound design on this game is amazing as well.
They do such a good job with it. Every single song kicks ass, and it loops seamlessly, and you kind of just listen to it forever. It's every song's a jam, and special shout out to the levels that are spoilery, because they are a bit more PlayStation game actually surrounded about that. Each galaxy you go to ends with a PlayStation level, basically. And the music that they do for those levels is brilliant. They remix
The second one
themes.
the second one remix, Brayden.
Oh my god.
That was great. That was a great level.
You haven't got to the third one yet.
No.
It's just as good.
Oh, really?
And it's so funny. Hearing them remix these tunes that we've heard for years, brilliant.
So let's talk about some of the cameo bots that you can find.
Sorry.
Finish?
Anto, overall, 10 out of 10 experience for me. Confused that certain characters didn't get cameos, considering their prestige and importance to PlayStation history. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
So it's been revealed that there is DLC coming with more cameos.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Already. But some of the cameos they've got. So, for example, there is a stage.
We'll talk about these are all early ones because Ben's only played the
first half of it.
First two galaxies.
So when you're in the overworld, so you go into a galaxy and it has all the different planets, and you go to the different planets and they're the levels. In that area, there's really simple little puzzles you can do, and it unlocks bonus levels with bonus bots for you to find. One of them is called Retro World.
Retro World, okay.
And I'm going to spoil it. So 3, 2, 1. It's Ryu and Ken.
Ah, very good.
And you get them and you go back to the hub world and they're like...
And you hit them and Ryu does a Hadouken and Ken does a whatever the shit Ken does.
Oh, you could...
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm so in love with this game. I actually want to play it now just watching this. It's like, I want to get back into it.
Don't even get me started, Michael Towns. I'm getting hot again.
So, the thing I want to end our Astro Bot talk on today.
Oh, there's still a bit more I want to talk about as well.
So what you want to talk about?
There's what I want to talk
What do
about.
you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the cameos.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, we can talk about these little cameos that are early ones at least.
Well, I know more specifically what the amount of cameos in the game has shown. Michael Towns in the live chat said earlier that the developers of this game care more about PlayStation history than Sony does.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah.
That is 100% true. You look at all the mascots that they could have had throughout the years. They're 30 years old next year.
Yeah.
30 years and the amount of mascots they've got, and they haven't capitalized on any of them. None of them.
This isn't a spoiler, but there's even a real deep cut one from early PS1 days. And the little description text that comes up for it is literally along the lines of, hey, it tried to be a mascot. They are almost pointing out how poor a job they've done and how many different times they've tried to do this. And now Astro Bot is kind of doing it by... I mean, they saw it with Sackboy, at least, where Sackboy, they did the little, hey, Sackboy's got a little costume on of these characters that you like. But they're kind of just dialing that up to 11 with Astro Bot. and I think it's working.
Yeah, I just think that it highlights Sony really dropped the ball in this area.
Shocker.
Oh man, we're gonna have a fun time in a bit. But yes, well, Brayden, what do you give the game overall?
I mean, this is not going to shock anyone. I think this is a 10 out of 10.
I completely agree.
This is 1,000% what I want from a game.
Yep.
It is constantly surprising me by how much is in it. I looked at this this is literally basically when you first go back to the hub world, and you look and you're like, okay, that I can see what's happening here. There's 5 galaxies I'm going to go to, and it seems like there's this many in each one. So there's probably like 5 or 6 levels in each one. Okay, that's the game. No, there's way more than that.
There's little bonus levels.
Those
Those triangle levels are a pain in my ass.
Oh, dude. The sacred symbol levels, they're basically challenge levels. Because they're like, hey, here's one character that you can unlock if you get through this challenge level.
And
it's
suck.
super hard.
They suck so
Oh my
hard.
God. But because you're loading super quick, you die and you go, oh, I can get it next time. And you just keep going. You just keep going.
Did you do the triangle one where like you're rolling, you finally get past that hard area and you go rolling down this ramp and you roll and there's a jump at the end and you just assume there's an automatic jump and you don't, you just go.
Yeah, no, I did that too.
I think
100%.
everyone did it. I reckon they planned it like that.
But yeah,
Jerks.
Dylan in the chat, 9 out of 10, but screw those square, circle, X, and triangle levels.
Well, see, Dylan, here's what you have to do. Don't worry about the platinum. It's fine.
No, this is a game that is 100% like the platinum is so good. Because it's a collectathon.
That's true. That's true.
And that works. But then, like, you're getting these secret extra levels and, like, oh, man, it's so good.
So, Zach, do you want to play it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah?
I'd smash it.
Smash.
This Smash clearly is game of the year.
Being a PlayStation kid, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you'd be right up your alley.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, this gameplay's going to the ice cream level first. So
Yeah, it's probably not spoiled that
No,
way.
so this is a good one for actually selling people on this game a bit
Oh,
more.
really?
Yeah.
Huh. No, this game, this for me is going to be very hard to beat for game of the year.
I mean, yeah, for me as well, personally. But now,
Oh, one thing I really did like, see on the left there, how there's all scattered bits on the ground?
oh,
So in one of the levels, in order to find a bot, there's actually a tunnel that you have to dig down, but it's covered by leaves.
yeah,
So you have to do like spinning attack and like kick all the leaves out the way in order to find it.
there are
that's
so
awesome.
many
See that?
little secrets.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
I love, and these little descriptions they give them, like legendary mercenary, terrible child. Like, and every single one of them is like a cheeky little reference.
Le Enfant Terrible.
There's ones there that I do not recognize in the slightest. So I can't wait to finish the game and then go back and look through and see all of them. And like,
All I
see
want to
what
say
they
though
are.
is that I've forgotten the name of it now. What's the name where you go around catching monkeys?
Ape Escape.
Ape Escape. Game still sucks.
Were you? Yeah.
I had to stop catching one because it was just pissing me off.
Oh, bless Ben.
Anyway,
But yeah, my one thing I do want to talk about when it comes to Astro Bot here, I think with the tech demo for PS5, Astro's Playroom, and now this, I think Sony has eaten Nintendo's lunch. 100%. I think if we do not see a Nintendo game where I expect fucking Cappy's Wild Nintendo Adventure, where it's Cappy from Mario Odyssey. Everyone loves Cappy, right? And he's off exploring all these different worlds from Nintendo's past, present, and future. It's collecting all the consoles and equipment. Ben, you nut over the fact you can collect a collectible of a TV Game 6.
hell yes I do.
And
Will and
you can have all these like special levels and stuff. How Nintendo did not do that before Sony did?
Well,
is-
they kind of did with Smash Brothers in the Gacha Machine, which is why I love that so much. But they only did it once, and it was in Smash Brothers on the GameCube.
Yeah, like
Like
this makes so much sense.
Nintendo
for
is so infuriating. I
Like-
love them so much, but god damn it, guys!
This makes so much more sense. For
Oh, no
Nintendo.
way, Psycho Mantis.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And his bit, so you know, before I said
It's
like
so
you go into the Gacha Machine and you get little bits for him. His one is that he's floating above a TV,
Very good.
and then you go and hit him, and the TV turns off, and he goes down and panics and like tries to fix up the TV and shakes it, and then goes, "Oh, phew!" and then gets back up and it starts floating above it. It's amazing. And I think from memory, like isn't the Psycho Mantis's little catchphrase something like "scared of player 2" or something like that?
Yeah.
Should be. That's awesome.
Oh man, this game is great, and we could talk about it for ages. And I'm sure Anto and Floppy are going to want to talk about it because he's hoping by next show we would have all been on the closing credits side of things.
So good.
So yeah, game of the year, easy, done. We solved it. So speaking of absolute highs from Sony to stinking rock bottom festering low.
Yep.
You want to talk about the PS5 Pro that was revealed during the week there?
What
Sabbath?
a complete crock of shit. What an absolute pile of hot garbage. What we're going to do is we're going to jack up the price $200, put the equivalent of a 2060 RTX in there, upgrade the storage capacity, take out the disk drive because fuck you, we're Sony, and call it a day.
You can buy the disk drive for free. You can buy it when you go to pick up the stand that you also have to purchase.
Yeah, what a complete... Like, they're definitely cutting Nintendo's lunch because this is a Nintendo move if I've ever fucking heard it. Absolute
I don't
crock
even
of
think Nintendo would be that greedy. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, the greediest thing Nintendo did was go, "Oh no, you don't get chargers in your DSs anymore."
Yeah, like this is like they've taken a little bit of Nintendo and everything from Apple, and just like yes, these are good business models. This is what's going to make us money. And the amount of comments I've seen, which is, "Oh, I'm not broke. I'm gonna get it." Yeah, cool, bud. No worries. I'll stick to my PC. Where if I drop $1,000 on my PC, I know the thing's gonna last me 10+ years.
Well, that's the thing. I think as well. This is a niche thing. This is a niche product for people who want the best and demand the best. Like, I've got a launch PS5. It's working fine. I have no desire to get one of these. And they have the side-by-sides going, "Oh, look how big..." I'm watching it on a freaking 1080p screen on my PC. I can't see any difference.
Yeah, and you know what really annoys me? Like, you can literally buy the storage upgrade for $100.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, it is a complete... It's got a slightly better graphics card. Slightly.
So it's $700 US. That equates to around about $1,100 Australian.
Yep.
$1,100.
And you want to hear the kicker? Now, a buddy of mine works at a certain retail store that may or may not sell video games. Mm-hmm. They have sales constantly. You might have heard of them. And they've just got a recent shipment in of just regular PS5s. But the display box on the thing says, the whole thing about this is that they said, 8K. The PS5 Pro can go 8K with games. They didn't mention the fact that there isn't a single game on the PlayStation 5 that can go 8K.
Who has an 8K TV?
Yeah, but here's the best part. The regular PlayStation 5s have the same 8K tick.
Yeah, they've been on there since launch and nothing's used it. And no one has an 8K TV because that's ridiculous because there's no content for it.
So there's literally, like, the PS5, the one that Ben has right now, has 8K compatibility. It's such a work. Like, I was watching this and got so unbelievably angry. Like,
I think you nailed it before as well, Zach, that if you wanted that kind of fidelity, you would be a PC gamer.
100%. Like, don't get me wrong. Like the statistics show that when the PS4 Pro came out, like, there was more to the PS4 Pro than there is to the PS5 Pro, in my opinion.
It was smaller for a start.
Yes, like, it had some things going for it, right? The fans are better, it had a better heat sink, that kind of shit like that, right? It had some legitimate upgrades. Not a huge amount, but legitimate upgrades, but the price difference was nowhere near this bad. And only 14, I think, like, the price margin between the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, or the sales, wasn't that high. It's literally a niche thing for the guys who want the next best thing from PlayStation. Fair enough, but this price tag is an absolute fucking joke.
What do you think would be an appropriate price for a Pro?
But the thing is, they've also increased the price of the PS5, have they not?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Like, fuck off. What a piece of shit. Fuck you, Sony. I'll fight every last one of you, bare knuckled in the street.
And he'll win.
I fucking will. Line up. We're scrapping. Like, that's a crock of crap. That's an absolute crock of shit. I apologize for my language, ladies and gentlemen. It's bullshit.
Wash out Shuhei.
100 and like the PS5 should not have gone up in price. It should have gone down. And in my opinion, the PS5 Pro, like they literally should have made enough. Like the price should have gone up just enough to cover the hardware, and they still make a profit. They're gonna they make money off the games. Isn't that the whole point? Like you break even on the console, make money off.
I think maybe that's why they're doing the Pro though, because like Microsoft and Sony have both said, well, it's been revealed that they don't make money off their consoles. It's the software that they make their money.
Yeah.
Maybe this is them going, you know what? Because of the pandemic, obviously, PlayStation 5 didn't really hit the ground running as much as they wanted it to, and this is their way to claw some cash back.
So, I thought the PlayStation 5, it's outsold every other console, besides the Switch, of course, but the Switch. Like, it's literally crushing.
Man, I just want sort of March next year, Nintendo to come out, have the Switch 2, and just go, $400.
Do you think the Switch 2 is going to be $400?
Not a chance.
In this
US.
economy?
US.
No, I know in US, but still.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? Why would it be?
I hope so, because otherwise there's a rip-off.
I would just love them to pull what they did to Sega. Was it Sega? Where they came out and like Sega announced the Saturn or the Dreamcast, and then Sony came out at the same E3 show and just like said it was $50 cheaper or something.
They just came out, said the price, and walked away.
Yeah.
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah.
I say that I wasn't there. I didn't actually experience. I watched it later because I wasn't born yet.
But yeah, the PS5 Pro is an absolute work.
Well, especially with no disc drive, and you have to buy
no
it.
disc drive.
It's the stand that got me. It's like, come on, Sony, you're Sony. You can't afford a stand.
Yeah, what a work. And you know what ultimately pisses me off the most? That PlayStation Network games are more expensive than physical copies when there's no physical media. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Oh, well,
How
again-
is a digital game more expensive than a physical one?
We don't know how much it costs to make a game. So, like, ensuring that these games get made, I'm happy to pay the same price because I will always go physical media over digital because for me, physical means I own it. Digital means I'm renting it. They can take it down whenever the hell they want. Whereas if I've got it in my hand, I can trade that in. I can sell it to my friend.
100%.
I can swap it with someone because it's my property.
Exactly.
On the old digital front, no, can't do it. So we've had our thoughts. Let's hear from someone who's going to buy one. Brayden.
Look, I want one, but that's beside the point.
Aren't you getting married?
I'm not saying
so disappointed.
no. I'm not saying I'm getting one. I'm saying I want one.
If you don't have a PS5 now, no, just
Oh.
get a regular PS5. Like,
Yeah,
there's
'cause I
literally
definitely
no reason to buy this.
Don't already. So okay, I'm not out here defending Sony or Dana Carvey, who's over here now.
I was going to say, defend that haircut. Bloody hell.
This is the second time Dana Carvey's appeared on this episode of Hack the Dino.
You too turtling
for the
Turtle Club.
But I find this very interesting because again, I'm not defending Sony here. I just find it interesting. So the PS5, launch PS5 came out. That's the one everyone knows. Everyone loves. You either think it's hideous or you love it.
I love it. I hate boring black boxes.
Yeah. So it's giant and it's ridiculous. It's crazy. They then put out a refresh and the Slim, I think, or just a refresh basically, where they were like, hey, it's the PS5. It's a bit smaller actually. And that was when they introduced that side plate that had the fucking line through it. And then that was when they were like, hey, this console is discless, but because of this side plate panel, you can then put the disc drive on it if you want. So I don't agree with it personally. I like being able to, again, own my games. But like, I get that that's the dystopian capitalist future we're going towards.
Everything's a subscription.
Yeah. But
Why get someone's money once when we can keep getting their money?
I do find it very interesting. Again, not defending them, never defending them because capitalism. But I do find this very interesting because Sony really, I don't think they wanted this to be big. I don't think they wanted this to blow up like it has.
Then why have it a direct?
So, no, but here's the thing.
Send it out in a tweet.
It wasn't a direct at all. It wasn't a PlayStation showcase or a state of play. It was, hey, Mark Cerny's put this video together to go through some technical specs for less than 8 minutes. And I don't think Sony thought it was going to blow up like this. I thought they were like, yep, cool, we're doing this. It's for a very specific niche group of people.
Do not buy that at all.
You don't think?
If you're Sony and you're announcing a new console, get fucked. You know that is going to catch a...
Well,
it's a new console. All right,
that
it's a new
case-
iteration of an older console or the current console. But as soon as you say new console, new specs, 100% people are going to go apeshit. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Well, then they
exactly,
stepped
and they
in
deserve
shit.
the hate.
Yeah.
I
100%.
hope they get Sonic level bullied and change.
Well, it's
That won't
coming out
change.
in
I
fucking
hope they get
November.
Ubisoft.
Damn.
Don't even get me started. I hope their stock drop plummets so severely that they have no choice but to go, my bad, we're going to make some changes.
They won't.
Because Outlaws, I called it. Did I not call it? Outlaws sucks eggs. I called it. I called it last time I was on the show. Outlaws sucks eggs. Speaking of which, fuck you, Ubisoft.
There it is.
And we'll be talking about Ubisoft a little bit later on.
We will be.
Good.
I do
I'm
like that
boiling
this
with gamer rage.
they're like, oh, this is going to take away your decision for picking fidelity or performance mode, and I liked that. But then they're also like, it can. And it's like, oh, okay, so it's on developers to do that. Developers aren't going to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Ben, if you want to know how much it costs to make a video game, why don't you ask the developers of Concord? $100 million, 8 years of development to last a whopping 4 months.
Oh, look, I've got my theory.
4 weeks.
I've got a conspiracy theory about Concord, but we're going to save that for the next episode.
Oh, I can't wait.
We're going to talk about the old Concord and what's happening there. I'm going to get my metal hat on, tighten it up, and give you all my hot tips from nowhere but my brain. So therefore, it must be real. And if it's not, I'm going to say it was another conspiracy against me.
That needs to be studied.
Do you know what else who needs to be studied? Michael Towns from Game Boy Games. He's a
Yes.
beloved Patreon producer of this here show, Hack the Dino. Brayden,
Hello.
what do you like about Michael Towns?
I like when I can get his website up and running. So give me one second.
Zach, what do you like about Michael Towns?
He's a good bloke.
He's
And
a
he
top
put
bloke.
me in a video game. How good.
Have you played it?
No.
So you
I
still
don't-
haven't seen it?
I don't have an old school Game Boy.
You can play it online simply by visiting hackthedino.com and going to Michael Towns' website. You can actually play F2 the Aflopolypse for free in your browser. Browser? What's a browser?
Bruiser.
Browser.
You bruiser.
Your browser. Yeah. So you can play it there. You can see Zak Sabbath and me we share a scene. There's a scene in that game. Yeah, basically that.
Very good.
Have you seen you in the game yet?
I have not.
You haven't even seen you in the game yet.
No. I'm gonna go. I gotta get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, but I'm gonna play it this weekend.
You are?
I'm gonna set a reminder.
That's when you see Michael Towns at the Adelaide Comic and Toy Fair in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. You can say to him, "Hey, we have to talk."
Yeah.
And because Michael Towns is very small, he will panic.
Can't wait.
But yeah, Michael Towns, Game Boy Games. You should head on over to hackthedino.com. Click on there. You can play things like Farewell, which we call Bonesy, and I think we've sort of renamed that game for him. You can play Retrospect, which was the first game I appeared in. I'm in many games. Let's talk about me. Boy, gee, I'm annoying. But the Floppy Game 1's there, Floppy Game 2 there. I really would like a NES game for Michael Towns.
A NES game?
Anus game.
An anus.
Michael
game.
Towns, make Anus game for the new show when we announce what it is. Anus. If you like Anus, head on over to hackthedino.com.
It's full of assholes.
Hell yeah. Just like the show.
Oh, I never used to think I got really good bargains. Then the other day I was thinking about, hang on, I actually get kick-ass stuff. But I hunt for it. I work for it.
He does.
I do.
Absolutely.
And you know who else works for it? Our wonderful Patreons who we want to thank.
Yes, absolutely. Those
absolutely
wonderful Patrons.
Seth, aka Sutek, Ash Knight, Karen Knight, Dylan the Villain, Triple Indy, Michael Towns, and Game Boy Dan.
Game Boy Dad. So if you would like to help us out, you head on over to Patreon. Actually, don't do it now because I've started to change
Yeah, I was
some
going to
stuff.
say, wait, it's
Yeah.
going to change.
It is. Well, not too much because I've done most of it. But
Good
we'll
work.
talk about that after the show. But in the words of our wonderful guest host, Zak Sabbath, take us out, Zak.
Bleh.